going and continuing, number two, and so forth. We come to America. Yes, we must enact change. Change in anticipation in is irrational because we sit and wait. We become reactionaries to what? Reactionaries maybe to not the thing that we should react to. Reactionary to reaction to misinformation. Um, so as a change in anticipation is an inaction. It shows and showers with aspiration and determination. Meaning, never change in anticipation, change in action, and your reaction, something else. May it be an addition, a subtraction, or simple addition or enhancement to what you are doing. Talk about drones. I'm going to explain the theory of drones, my theory of drones, and I've done it in the American military, and why we need, why America is bankrupt. It's in a turmoil because of its military and its budget. When they say a drone, darling, when something happens in the military, et al. Sexual assault, and it involves the leaders, what they do is sometimes, let's say, Captain Brown no longer wear his name tag Captain Brown, will wear the name tag of Sergeant Brown, or he could become Sergeant. He could wear a name tag called Sergeant, let's give him another name, Sergeant Black, and so forth. They switch and switch, and they document on such a people that the occurrences take place, negatively or positively, to protect whoever it is. That's one essence of change in identities. The second essence, my dear, which I found out in the military, and a friend told me, she said, how much do you get paid as a whatever? I said, well, I get my regular pay. She said, are you stupid? She said, don't you know somebody from another company in HR? Just get a new identity, another ID, and say you work there 2 days a week. And so therefore, my friend, let's say her name was Captain Peters. She took the name of Captain Drum, or as I can say, Sergeant Drum in another unit, and you could hardly see her some days of the week. Darling, this is the most disgraceful thing, and these people would collect 1, 2, and even 3 paychecks, especially if you're in a foreign country and you know the different HR people. All it is an ID factory, making factory. One corrupt thing after another. These military folks, they are not easy. I don't knock them, darling. But the Bible said, thou shalt not steal. And you know what? Maybe if I wasn't so prudish, maybe if I wasn't myself, I probably would have had 2 or 3 checks myself under different names. But I was not under that disguise, and I did not see the honesty in it, and so therefore I did not participate in it. And that is the military drone system. They wear disguises and here to mask themselves, take another name, another identity, and they're working in another unit just for another paycheck. You just have to know the person in the AR, in the HR, darling, and the person in security that makes the card, because the card only accepts a certain security setting. Darling, this is how the person from Fort Sill took all my taxes, darling. Kudos to the IRS. They said, what a thing. They target conservative. To think that I read that story today. The IRS said that they apologized for targeting conservative individuals, which I thought, aren't they supposed to be an objective, unbiased organization? Well, darling, what can I say? Welcome to America. I'm a Duchess. I guess we can live with it. And why am I knocking it that some people are getting 2 and 3 paychecks? I remember a sergeant, not call his name, told me how much money he gave me. I overheard the conversation. He was talking to his specialist. How much do you make a year? He said, he said, you know how much I make a year? He said, no, sorry, 70,000. And by God, this guy had 3 different names, collected 3 different paychecks in the military system. 3 different names. And I fail to believe which one he is. So, darlings, for example, since I had an incident in Korea where I was, let's say, where I was attacked. Let's say I was to report it and say, Sergeant whatever did this, or Captain or Colonel this did that. Who knows if that's really is Colonel whatever? It could be a sergeant. It could be anybody, darling. And they put these little people in places and you would never know. And then they write all kind of derogatory thing. There is no such person working here at this place. There's no such person, and this is how they get away with it. This is how they injure your children. This is how they blacken them with drugs and and enslave them with medication, because they said they have psychotic, bipolar, and so forth episode, because the people that they report and the events that they report and the people involved are not who they say they are. They wear different name tags, they collect different checks, and so forth, protecting the structure, the military structure. That is the status of the military. That is the fraternity. If you belong to them, they protect you. If they can hurt you, they'll hurt you again. And that is how some of our innocent service members are hurt. It has been a long journey. I am glad I can speak of it. I am glad that when I went to Fort Bliss, Texas, and I had an apartment, used to serve homeless veterans, give them money. I would open my apartment for them to take shower, and people would think I'm having sex with these men. No such thing. I would help them with money and so forth to take a shower. I know what it's like now to be in their shoes. And their story was so incredible. And people would tell me these people are mentally ill. But I helped some of these people to get on their feet in Fort Bliss, Texas. And since I have had this experience, I understand the persecution that the military can do to its members, because they suffered an injury by people that belong to an organization, a fraternity, or something. It is a deplorable state. The country itself needs to adapt. The military needs to close ranks on these things and get back to the inert justice and the inert representation of itself. It represents the Constitution, right? Not the Constitution represents the military. We want to be protected and we need to have a strong defense system, but we do not need to persecute those that serve loyal to us and those who we injure. We do not. And this is what I say, the brotherhood in my first broadcast, the sisterhood in it, and how you make friends and you don't know who they are and how they blight your character. But I let go of my creature, because as a creature is a thing of betrayal sometimes. But you give your loyalty, you give your duty, you give the best of you so that the best comes back. And when going through my transition, he said, "You are my sister," and I said, I am your sister, you are my brother." And I looked out. You would not imagine the betrayal that I suffered, the anguish. I mentioned it in the first video, but I didn't suffer because of it. Because my own family was not worthy of my own attentions and my own love, and they inflicted their wrath on me, and their anger, and their iniquity, and their anxieties. And so therefore I do not indulge in it. I become to accept it. But can I love again? I do love again. Can I do have the capacity to be happy? Russell Simmons said in one thing last night on Twitter. Russell Simmons said, "Give happiness to the world, and the world gives happiness to you." And I say, Christ did not give nothing but happiness. And what did he get? Persecution and crucifixion. And so it is with anyone that comes and speak up or implement change in society and advocate for humanity and people. They give their happiness, their loyalty. But do they get it back? No, darling. They get a crucifixion. So everybody should say karma. Watch what your karma is. Know your karma. Know that you are practicing the principles of your faith, humanity, or simple justice, and henceforth you shall be comfortable when you sleep at night, that the things you do are the things that you would like done to you and to members of your team and your family. This is me, the Grand Duchess Rasmus Cohn, and have a good evening. Happy Friday.